Good morning, everyone. We're just going to be waiting a couple of minutes just for everyone to slowly log on to the webinar. We're also streaming on Facebook Live as well, or yes, Facebook Live as well. So we're just going to wait for everyone to settle in. So I'll probably start at about 11:02. So just as everyone is coming on, we are just waiting for people to slowly log on to the webinar. So I'll probably start at around 11:02. Please let me know in the chat if you're on Zoom or on Facebook. Please let me know in the chat if you're having any audio or visual difficulties. I'll be moderating the webinar today. So if you have any technical difficulties, just let me know and I can help you out as best as I can. We'll just wait a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to get started here. Welcome everyone to our webinar today. My name is Sandra, and as I said, just as people were filtering in, I'm going to help to moderate the webinar today. So if you have any technical difficulties, please let me know in the chat and I'll be more than happy to help you out there. And if you also have any questions, we will be taking questions at the end. So if you don't mind posting them into the chat, and you can do that on Facebook as well. And on Zoom, if you're on Zoom, there's a little box at the bottom of your Zoom screen. It's named Q&A. You can also post your questions in there. And Mark, who is our presenter today, will be more than happy to answer all of them at the end. Today, we'll be talking about trying a new job search method and how Guhuza plays into that. So I'm going to pass it over to Marc Belaiche. He's the president and founder of Guhuza. And I hope everyone enjoys the webinar. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Sandra, and thanks for organizing today's event, and great job as always. And thanks everyone for being on today. We're going to run for about half an hour or so, including questions. Going to give you a lot of information in a very short amount of time. And feel free to ask any questions that you have as we go along here. So first off, I wanted to introduce myself. I've been in the recruiting business for over 25 years now. I've worked at desk. We've been running TorontoJobs.ca for many years as well. That you may be familiar with that website. And I can't say I've seen everything, and especially after the pandemic hit. Something has really changed in the labor market over time, and I thought I'd seen every kind of scenario, everything that would be high labor, low demand, low labor, high demand, and so on. But this has been an interesting time for sure. So I'm going to briefly talk about job numbers. Going to talk about the recruitment landscape and how Guhuza disrupts it. And I'll also introduce you, of course, to Guhuza, which is really an out-of-the-box hiring platform. And please feel free to drop any questions in the chat, as Sandra mentioned as well. So just in the chat, Sandra is going to post the link to the most recent job numbers in Canada. Have a look. The numbers get updated each month by Statistics Canada, but it gives you a snapshot of information on what industries are growing or shrinking, what provinces are doing better than others, and also what cities have lower and higher unemployment rates. They look at 33 metropolitan areas across the country. And it also gives you information about age and sex and more. So have a look. It's great information. It comes out once a month on the first Friday of the month, typically, unless the first Friday of the month is the first day of the month, in which case it'll come out the following Friday. But generally at 8:30 on the first Friday of the month, the job numbers come out. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit more of the platform, and but first I'll give you a little bit of explanation and description of how Guhuza came about. First of all, Guhuza is not a job board. It's not just another job board. You probably hear some ads on the radio and so on about, that it's just another job board, another job board, another job board. Well, this is not. This is a hiring platform. It's in a new category of the staffing or recruiting space. It saves you time by eliminating most of the steps in the job search process. I'm going to show you that as well. We use AI matching technology to match you with a great position purely based on your resume and the job description. Now, all you have to do is upload your resume and be ready to interview, and we will do the rest. So Guhuza saves you time as a job seeker. As you probably know, you spend a lot of time looking at job descriptions, searching them, adapting your cover letter and resume to positions, and applying with little return. In fact, on average, job seekers don't hear back from 75% of the applications that they make. 75% of applications that they make, they don't hear back. So you've done all this effort to find jobs, you search for them, you get excited, you have that excited feeling that this is the job for you. You get to spend an hour, 2 hours, maybe more, really wordsmithing that resume and cover letter for that job, and then 3/4 of a chance or more that you're not going to hear back. Now, Guhuza was created in 2020 because the pandemic changed the way people look for jobs and how they work, and also how people want to be connected with. And in fact, the job board industry hasn't really changed in over 20 years. So Guhuza is really a game changer in this space. And realistically, both employers and job seekers don't have the patience to go through lengthy recruiting processes as they once used to. They want speed to connect. For someone my age, a little bit older than maybe most or all of you, it has been the only way of finding a job by going to a platform, going to a job board, searching for jobs and applying. But this is brand new. So I'm going to show you a little bit. I'm going to share my screen here and walk you through the different processes on how we do things and how Guhuza is different. So I'm going to start first off by just going to the website. And so as a job seeker, here we go. I'm just going to share and let me know, Sandra, if you can't see my screen. So if you go to Guhuza.com, you'll see this, and I'm just going to click on I'm a job seeker and just show you high level as to how it works. You create your profile, very simple, very straightforward. You're obviously very familiar with that process. You upload your document, you upload your resume, you add your social profiles, your links, any information that you might have, and then you will get messaged, and I'll show you how that works, with employers and participate in live video interviews right on the spot. And some of you may have already received interview requests, and you may have already been on an interview, which is great. We want to have more people, more users on the platform. So this is very exciting. It's a big change in how everything is changing. So I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to go through what it's like to register now. I'm just going to walk you through and just play this video, and you'll be able to watch it as we go along here. Hi, this is Mark with Guhuza.com. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to upload your resume. So you just go to Guhuza.com. I'm a job seeker. We'll take you to this page. Now, there's a couple of ways you can register with us, but the fastest and easiest way is just click or drag and drop in the area to upload your resume, which you will find by opening up your, clicking on it will give you an option to upload the resume in there. Or the second option is to just click and drag it and move it from somewhere else. Perhaps you have it saved in a folder or something. So I'm going to move my resume into here, and it's going to take a couple of seconds for it to load up. And once you have it in here, it will just take your information from your resume, as far as we can see, and put it into our system. And all you need to do at this point is just create a password. You're going to create your password, and you're going to register. Well, so I've already used this password. So I've changed the email to sales@guhuza.com. So I'm going to look good and register. And again, that will just take a couple of seconds. I can update my information there. And we have successfully created an account. Please check your email for an email verification link. So here's the email that I've received. And I'm going to activate my account now. Very simple, very straightforward. And now I can log in. And I'm going to use the same password that I used just a second ago. I'm going to log in. You can save your password. Now, I'm going to send myself a code because I want to make sure to activate my phone so I get messages for live interviews that will come up. So I'm going to send the code right now. And by the way, while that was going on, I also received an email that gives me some information and some tips on how to use the platform. So you will receive this platform as well. You will receive this email, which gives you great tips on how to use the platform. And that's really it from there. Now I'm going to verify my phone number. Again, very important to get my information in, make sure that the password is right, make sure my email is activated, make sure my text message is working. So I'm going to verify that code, and that's it. And then from here, you're just going to follow the process. You're going to upload the profile picture. So I move my picture in here. I'm going to save this image. Now you can skip it, but you want to definitely have some information here as well. Now we've got some really cool features where you can just put in your information and your postal code, and it'll pop down with populate already some information in there as to what we think it is. Just gonna make a couple of changes in here just to make sure that we have the right information. 27, where our offices are. I'm gonna save that. Now I can put in my hourly pay, my annual pay. We put in obviously annual pay minimum of 1,000, so not to confuse hourly pay with annual pay. So you can put in say $25, and all you have to do is just type 25. It'll format it for you. Now you can change temporary contract position, permanent position, etc. Fairly straightforward. You can cover it off. Now you can put in, change a little bit of the summary, something that the employer will see, so you can edit this as you go along. So I'm just going to save and continue this. Now, we're happy to have an app, so you can download the iOS app. It'll be much better for you for interviews, and all you need to do is just send the link to yourself. And that is great because it populates already the number. Send the link. It'll give you the app, download a great link just to get you right to the download, and then here you are. Here I am. I can see my current and past interviews. I can update my profile, personal information, my resume, notifications. Very important that you get your notifications on. You make sure you want to send an email, send a text message. You should have it so that it's you want to be notified on every single day, not just weekend, not just during the day. You want to be there for all days and times. You want to be as open as possible. We defaulted to 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., but I would put in as early as possible. I would put in 1 a.m., depending on obviously what time you sleep, 11 o'clock p.m. So that will give you some ideas as to where you may want to go as well. Okay, so say 11 o'clock p.m. Or 11, and update that, and there you go. I can be notified at any time, and then time I want to be notified during weekends as well. Okay, so these are great ways to make sure that you're going to get those notifications for these for your interviews. Okay, so that that covers off the. Hi, my name is Mark. Hold on a second. That covers off the area of how to put in your information and register. Now you're probably watching it and you're probably going, well, how is this any different than what you've been doing on the job board? Not really any different, to be totally honest.
And in this short video,
hold on a second.
I'm going to talk to you about the pricing.
It's not much difference, to be honest with you, but where the difference is it's coming, and I'm going to show you this in the second part. Again, if you have just joined us, my name is Marc Belaiche. I'm president of Guhuza.com, and what I'm doing is I'm showing you how Guhuza is different. And if you have any questions or something you want to put in the chat, feel free to post it, and we'll get to it in a few minutes. We're here for another 15 minutes or so. So now I'm going to turn to the next page, which is how you get a live interview. Like, how does this whole thing work? So again, remember, the first part has been pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You just put in your information, your resume, and that's it. You don't have jobs to look through. You don't have anything to look through. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you actually get an invitation to do an interview, which is very cool. So what will happen is you will get an email notification that will look something like this, whether it's on your phone or whether, to your regular email. And I'm going to play this video for you.
So when you're invited to a job, you'll get an email similar to this, and it will be addressed to you, and it's saying, interview right now for the position of executive assistant. Now, what you want to do is just quickly look over, make sure that it's the right role, and then you want to click on Interview Live right now. And that will take you to our page, which will then show you the opportunity. You can look through it, see congratulations, you've been invited to interview for a position right away. So you can you can quickly look at the job description and make sure that it's to your liking. And if you like it, then you can join the waiting room. If you're not interested, you click on not interested. And if you want to refer a friend, you can click to refer a friend as well. So if you don't think it's appropriate for you, but you're interested in maybe passing it over to a friend of yours, you can do that at that point. Now at this point, you want to join the waiting room. If you like it, there's an opportunity there. Terrific. You should click join the waiting room. Allow your phone to use your camera, and welcome. So at this point, the system is just telling you that the interviewer is with somebody else and that your interview will start shortly. Now, when the interview starts, and you may need to wait a little bit of time, but you will get a message or a phone call on your phone, and that way you can accept it and start the interview. Allow your camera, allow your microphone, and always just make sure that you have all the right settings. I'm going to join the meeting now. And you'll now be connected. In this case, it's just myself, so you will see the interviewer, and then you will also see yourself in the small postage stamp. And that's it, you're done. You're well on your way to finding a new job.
So that summarizes for you what happens when it comes to an email and how you get in. Now, this next video will be the same thing, but just if you receive a text. So I'm just going to walk you through, and this will actually take you through all the way to an actual interview. So what happens is, first off, is you'll get a text. So the text will look like this. Guhuza found a great position match just for you, customer service specialist interviewing live right now. Now, don't wait till like 7 o'clock tonight. It's happening now. The company is interviewing live right now for the position. So you would click on the link, and it would take you to the actual position. Now, in the position, it looks the same as what I just showed you. Congratulations, you've been invited to, and I can read through the job description to see if it's something that I really like. Now, I realize it's a little bit small, but you can get the idea that here's the job description. You can go up and down, you can have a look at it. Now, if you like it, you join the waiting room. So it basically says, hey, I'm interested. I want to get into the position. I want to be interviewed for the position now. So I'm going to click join interview room, and that'll just take a couple of seconds here. And again, you're going to get the same message that I just showed you. Welcome to the waiting room for customer service specialist in this case. And you can also get notified when the interviewer is ready to do the interview. But I can also see the job description again. I can have another look at it, make sure that it's what I want. And then again, I can hit get notified so that my phone will tell me when the interviewer is ready to start the process. Now, what happens now is that you get a same phone call saying the interview is starting and I want to accept it. And it might take a little bit of time. You'll have to maybe check your settings and so on. Make sure that your microphone is working okay. You'll be able to preview yourself. And there you are. There's the interview. There is yourself. And there is the interviewer that is interviewing you within minutes. And that's really the same process that you will have seen over the course of whether you do it through email or whether you do it through the your email, phone, or your app as well. So all of them work on the same basis. And so very, very simple to use. And we've designed it. This has been designed by recruiters, for job seekers. We've kept it as simple as possible. We try to keep it simple to make sure that people don't get confused or that there's a lot of technical issues. So our team has done a tremendous amount of testing, which I'm really thankful that we've had such great group of people on our team. And just wanted to mention that because they work really hard to get this going there as well. So I just showed you basically how you register. Part one was how you register as a candidate or as a job seeker. Part two, what happens if you get an email notification about a job inviting you to a job. And part three is if you get a text message. Now the same would apply also if you have an app. If you download the app, which is available on the App Store, you can also get notified. And we actually suggest that you do it on the app because it's a little bit more stable and a little bit easier and more mobile friendly as well. So if you have an iOS phone, Apple, make sure to go on to Guhuza or onto the App Store and search Guhuza and download that app as well. So I just got a few minutes left. I'm just going to mention just a couple other things that you may also be asked to do background check or test as well on the system by an employer that's interested in you. If you do, you'll receive an email asking you to click through the links, and everything can be done online, very seamless both for the job seeker and for the employer as well to receive the results. So just to recap, showed you how to register, upload your resume, all the tiles in the account, go through, make sure to put in your preferences, make sure to put in the notifications. Super important that you get notified for the jobs. If you have them unclicked, our system's not going to send them to you. We also have a really great knowledge base as well, and I'm just going to share that with you right now as well, where you can get information on any questions and a number of articles that we have as well. So this is a really great tool that you may want to use. Now I've got it blocked because of the thing. So if you want to apply for jobs, you can search. There's lots of different articles about interviewing tips, lots of information about all kinds of things. So use that. It gives you some information and videos on how to use Guhuza as well. Could be on any topics that you might have as well. And then also, if you need support on anything, all you have to do, I'm just going to go back here for a second. All you have to do is just click on here, support, and leave us your email address and how we can help you. And we'll get back to you as quickly as we can as well. So that's, especially if you've created a profile, that's better because then we'll have the information about you. But make sure to leave your email address if you don't as well. And you'll also get information about your past interviews as well. So just some other notes, do your best. You may not always be ready for an interview. Do your best. We advise our clients that you may not always be perfectly manicured and coiffed and hair and all that kind of stuff, but right now it's set as immediate interviews. Interviews cannot be scheduled for later, So if you miss the interview, there may be another opportunity around the corner, but for that particular role, you need to be on the platform. And we think that speed in today's world is more important than scheduling an interview in the future, since that doesn't fix a major problem of ghosting, which is going on. In fact, 85% of employers report that they get ghosted, meaning a job seeker doesn't show up for an interview. And 80% of job seekers say they get ghosted by employers where the employer doesn't get ghosted or gets ghosted. So where Guhuza fixes all that, because there is no ghosting on the platform. If you're not there, too bad, so sad. If the employer's not there, too bad, so sad. You go on to the next one. So in conclusion, Guhuza is the only platform where you can get all these services in one space. Guhuza reduces the time it takes to find a job, which is super important. There's no more applying, no more tweaking your resume, no more hoping you get that call for that job. We will let you know when there's a great job that matches your skill set. Other comments? Try us out, register today, recommend a friend. The platform is powered by TorontoJobs.ca, a brand that has been in Toronto for over 20 years, a brand that you can trust. And as I mentioned earlier, Guhuza has been developed by a team of recruiters, developers, and job board industry professionals that have over 150 years of industry experience. So keep that in mind. So I'll turn it back over to Sandra, and then we can go over some questions as well. And don't forget to put some questions in the Q&A or in the chat.
Yep, so we do have a couple of questions. So let me go to the beginning here. So we have one question, and I think you touched on it a little bit, but if you can go into more depth. How do we know when to expect the interview in case you do not want to miss it?
Yeah, so the interviews can come at any time. We do tell our clients that for best results to do it between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, but they may reach out at any time. We don't text you outside of those hours, but you can also change your notifications to accommodate that. But if you want to make sure your notifications are on, email and so on. And I just wanted to kind of just be clear that when you have that, just be expected at any time. It's really, you may be busy, but again, we take speed over the requirement to get ready and things like that. I've interviewed people, they've been in their cars at the shopping plaza, walking through parks and so on. It's just the way it is. When I first got into recruiting, interviews were very, very professional. People prepared for them, suit and tie for men and business attire for men and women. And now it's a very different world. So great question.
The other question we have is, do we have some time in between the moment we receive the notification of a match and the moment to accept the interview?
Yeah, it's a great question. So you do. I mean, you could theoretically wait an hour if you wanted to, but you got to remember that the interviewer or the company that's interviewing is going to meet people in the order that they come in to their waiting rooms. So if they see person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you wait an hour and you're number 4 or 5 in process, you may or may not get an interview. So it is a balance of being prepared, and it's also a balance of not waiting too long, because the interviewers want to get started quickly. Remember, it's all about speed. So it's a great question, and not one that we hadn't thought of before as well.
Someone is asking, does this apply to any type of job, including engineering, accounting, nursing, etc.?
Yeah, it's everything. I mean, one of the areas, and I didn't touch on this, but one of the areas that we're focusing on is Toronto. It's the Greater Toronto area. And the reason being is that because Guhuza is powered by TorontoJobs.ca, we're working on our strengths. So within that, any industry, any type of position, any level, we've had everything from so far CFOs, we've had customer service, we've had accounting positions, we've had administrative positions, we had property management positions. It's all over the map. And that's the beauty of the system, is it will just let you know when there's a job related to you, whether you're in healthcare or pharma or whatever the industry or type of job it is.
Another person is asking if there's a cost to use the platform.
For job seekers, there's no cost. Everything is free. we do charge for employers to use the platform, and that's typically the model when it comes to employers using the platform. But job seekers is always free. Sorry.
The other question I have here is it's in regards to receiving a text message about an interview. So if you can, I know you touched on it a bit, but if you can go over receiving a message on your phone and doing an interview on your phone.
Yeah, so our team has tested out all the different phones, all the different devices, whether it's iPhone, Android device, iPad, regular browser, phone, and with the app as well, our app. So you can be pretty comfortable that our testing, and we test it every day as well, but you can be pretty comfortable that it will work on pretty much any device. Now, practically speaking, if you're doing an interview and if you're near a computer, probably a browser is probably the safest bet in terms of, you got the camera, you got the stability and so on, as opposed to a camera and it's shaking and they can't maybe see your face, or, the audio might not be great if you're outside and the wind's blowing. But, again, we're into the speed thing. So if you're outside, there's wind blowing, try to get to a place, maybe inside a car, maybe inside a building or something like that, where the sound will be good. You can hold your device close to your face and you can see yourself as well, of course. So yeah, great question. Really great questions all around.
Okay, is there, it's 1 minute past 11:30. So is there anything else you just wanted to add just as we close off the webinar?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, first of all, thanks again for being on here. It looks like there's obviously interest in people that are perhaps want to change, and that's what we want too. A bit of a change in how people find jobs, how they interact. It's not a job board. If you're walking away from this webinar that you're thinking, oh, it's just another job board, then I haven't done a good job of explaining how this is not a job board. You're not looking for jobs. You're not applying to jobs. And I would just say, give us feedback as well. We on our website, we have a contact section. If you're having trouble with the website, if you have a question about the website, we'd love to hear from you. Give us feedback, likes, dislikes. We're constantly working on improving the system. We have literally hundreds of projects of what we want to do with this platform, and it has a ton of potential, and our clients are reporting back that they're really happy with how things are playing out with this platform, and job seekers similarly. So that would be it. I just want to say thanks, Sandra, again. Thanks to everybody who came on, and feel free to reach out, send me a connection request, send us an email, and again, through the contact us on the website in the top right corner. And look forward to hearing your good news that you got a job and that that you found it through Guhuza.
We actually had a couple of people raise their hands. So I'm just seeing if they had any last minute questions just before we close out here.
Sure. While you're doing that, I want to mention, because we get this question a lot, is what the heck does Guhuza mean? So it means to connect, because that's the nature of the platform, in Rwandan. So we don't have a specific affiliation or connection with Africa, but it just was a little bit different. We didn't want to be known as just another job platform, so we thought we would be a little bit different. Guhuza, a little bit ambiguous, a little bit different. So that's where the name came from.
Okay, I also posted into the chat our next webinar. So if you wanted to check out that link over there and register for the next webinar, the link is in the chat. I haven't seen the two people that raised their hands. I didn't see them post a question, but I did post your contact information. And actually what I'll also do is maybe post the Guhuza contact information as well. And then that way they can reach out to the email there.
Excellent.
Okay, and then and someone did ask, we are recording the webinar and we're also posting it on our YouTube. So we'll have access to it there as well.
And join our YouTube channel. There's literally, I think over 600 videos on there about everything.
Yeah, we do have a lot on there. Yeah.
So check it out, Guhuza.com or YouTube.com, and then search just Guhuza, and you'll see that. Lots of great.
All right. All right, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. We hope you enjoyed the webinar. And yeah, that's it. I don't know if there's anything else, Mark.
That's it. Have a great day.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.